second-story apartment, reaching Mrs. Kane just as the older woman began her slow climb to the apartment in the back of the building. Princess, her fluffy Pomeranian, bounced at her feet as she clung to the metal railing and pulled herself up. "Mrs. Kane! Mrs. Kane!" The woman turned around, squinting in Anne's direction. "Who's that?" "It's your neighbor, Anne." After a long pause, Mrs. Kane nodded. "Okay, then." "You're still here." Anne didn't know what else to say. She'd assumed that Mrs. Kane had evacuated with the other half of the city. "You sound surprised." Mrs. Kane's voice was loud enough to carry the half-mile to the river and back. Her hearing aids were probably turned off. "My son wanted me to come stay with him in North Carolina, but that wife of his never liked me much." Maybe this had been a stupid idea. Swallowing her sputter, Anne tried again. "I just wanted to see if you needed anything. You know, before the storm hits." A lone raindrop splattered against her cheek, a reminder that it wasn't far away. Mrs. Kane managed a flicker of a smile, just as the little ball of fur at her feet yipped. It had to be 80 degrees and 400% humidity outside, but she looked perfectly pleased in her yellow velour tracksuit. "It'll take more than a Category 4 to scare away Mavis Kane. I always could sleep through the storms, my mama said." Of course. Mrs. Kane was a Savannah native, and not naive to the ways of hurricanes that sounded intent on tearing the whole city down. "Well, if you need anything, Anne lost her words, not sure exactly what she wanted to say, so she began to turn. "Do you have any peanut butter? Princess gets awfully cranky without her afternoon treat." Her gaze dashed to the dog. "Peanut butter?" Anne's tongue felt like it was coated with the stuff. With every ounce of her very last, very expensive jar. "Yes, Prinny just loves it, and the store was plumb out of it." She held up her grocery bag. "You know, all those greedy hoarders storing up." Yes, she knew them. She probably qualified as one in Mrs. Kane's book. Anne nodded slowly. "I'd be happy to share." Mrs. Kane's face softened. "We'd be grateful. I'll be right back." The rain had already begun to make the metal slick, but she hurried up the stairs to her home. Her air conditioner chugged in the window on the far side of the room, barely making a dent in the weight of the air. But it was better than being outdoors. When she opened her pantry door, she cringed. The shelves were small and contained a couple 10-cent packets of noodles and 2 jars of peanut butter. Hugging the unopened jar to her chest, she closed her eyes. This, and the bread and jam in her fridge, was all she had, but it was enough to share. As she walked past her counter, she snagged her purse and hefted it over her shoulder. She might as well face her landlord, too, before the storm hit. Mrs. Kane took the peanut butter and cradled it as though it was a treasure. "Thank you." Anne managed a full smile.